Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon podcast. We have a very special edition and a very special guest. He is, he's like my best friend. Certainly my best friend in comedy, and certainly
That's so
the closer.
Cute.
There is no other comedian I could think of that I'm closer with.
There's no other comedian that you could think of that at 8:30 you could be like, "Can you come here at 10 p.m.?" and they would be here.
That's okay. But no, there's no other comedian I could think of in the world who I'm closer with than this person. Not one. There is not one other comedian.
I'm still not biting.
Okay. But he's not just my dear friend, but we wanted to have him back on the podcast because weirdly enough, he's got a bone to pick with me, I think.
What? Oh, I like that.
Vis-a-vis this podcast.
Wait, by the way, I want to ask him some questions.
Okay,
Can we introduce him so I can ask him a question?
So the comedic genius, the wunderkind that is one of the best stand-ups I know and one of my favorite people, Brent Weinbach.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hi, Brent, is Moshe like really hard to argue with?
Absolutely.
Like, imagine being in a relationship with him.
He should be a lawyer, I think.
That would be so. Why weren't you a lawyer?
You should stop this. You had enough of comedy at this point. You know.
No, but now he's got to read the Tax Act. He
But
doesn't
actually,
want to do that.
Imagine being a lawyer with your wit. That would be.
Oh
you
my
think I
God,
could
you
kill?
would slay.
Yeah, you could actually probably still get the same, rewarding or fulfillment that you get from stand-up comedy, but you get laughs in the courtroom and win cases.
But thank you, Your Honor. but seriously, Your
Oh
Honor.
my God. How many funny lawyers do you think there are who are as funny as Moshe?
Right. Yes, exactly.
Like
What is
zero.
happening here?
Actually, how many lawyers actually are cracking jokes?
I
in
bet
the
there
court?
are.
Do you think there
Oh,
are?
for sure. But are they good jokes? Like
Right,
high
exactly.
level?
Imagine if it's Moshe, and Moshe's so good at arguing, even when
What's
he's wrong.
happening here?
Even when he's wrong, too. He's really good at arguing. It's hard to win an argument with him, even when he's
Brent,
clearly
I am
wrong.
so glad you came on this podcast.
Brent, you are impossible to argue with.
He's hard to argue with too, but nobody's married to him right now.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Are you
I'm
married?
I wish I could.
Not you wish you were, you wish you could.
Both. I wish I could. I wish I were.
Well, you're very
wish I was.
handsome, and I can imagine you to be
A
the
wonderful
ideal for
lover.
many women.
Maybe so. Maybe not, though.
Yeah, maybe not.
But
Maybe
thank you
not.
for backing me up. I want to hear what's
Well,
his bone to
Okay,
pick?
you said my bone to pick. It maybe more appropriately might have a boner to pick. with
Okay,
you. And
sure.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
Ooh.
not. Should we just jump right into it?
Well,
Or-
okay. When we had Brandon Wardell and Jack Wagner on, I told the story of my bachelor party, and I told it from my recollection. Memory's a funny thing.
Oh, it was like a cop coming as a stripper?
Yeah, and Brent heard that episode, I guess, and texted me, "Hey, that's not exactly how that happened."
Ooh.
And he didn't just stop there. He said, "Can I please come back on the podcast? Can I please come back on the podcast and explain what really happened?"
Yes, because it wasn't. I didn't even put it. That's not quite how it happened. It was very inaccurate, I think.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
I'm a good arguer even when I'm wrong.
Right,
so let's
right,
find
exactly,
out.
yeah.
Actually, what we do in the legal profession is we bring discovery of evidence that we've found. And I
Oh my
actually
God, Moshe, you could make so much money. Why don't you do that?
I am a successful comedian. Why are you doing this to me?
Moshe, no, seriously though, you should go to law school.
You could like get so many people off.
You know what?
Actually, being a lawyer is kind of fucked up. You're like, I'm going to give everything I have to try to like make people who might be guilty seem innocent.
Well,
No, but
it's
no,
an
what are you
age-old. That's an
talking
age-old moral conundrum, right?
But
Or
wait a
whatever.
minute. No, that's so weird. It's actually the more immoral lawyers are the ones that are trying to get people in jail, not the ones that are trying to keep people from jail.
I'm just saying.
Well, what if they know for sure they're guilty?
Well, then you're not supposed to represent that person. I tried a case, I remember, in Tallahassee, and there was a youthful offender, and the guy, by all accounts, seemed guilty. Slam dunk case. The state, they wanted to offer a plea bargain, right? They wanted to give him 3 to 7 years. Yeah. And I said to myself, I know this kid's not guilty. Okay. So I went down, interviewed his aunt and his brothers, and it turns out there was no evidence linking him to the scene of the crime. Purely circumstantial. You know who that guy was? Orenthal
honey?
James Simpson. And he went on to have a great football career.
Oh, so it was a crime he committed before his football career. So he already had killed somebody before then, or not.
I think he was innocent.
Or not.
I think he was innocent.
okay, Brent. So what happened on
Okay,
that
hold on.
fateful night?
We're actually going to play the clip.
So evidence. This is our first bit of evidence, or what do you
This
call
is
this?
exhibit 1.
Exhibit. That's it. Exhibit 1. Yeah.
God, you guys do not know about my field. Yeah. This is
See,
exhibit
you
1.
know all the terminology.
Okay, we're gonna listen to it.
On my bachelor party,
Yes.
Brent Weinbach,
Our friend of the pod.
friend of the pod,
Yeah.
Brent Weinbach, did what classically he would do
I love
for
Brent
me,
so
which is hire a male stripper to come. And by the way, it worked like 100%. Like we were having a great time. We were playing board games. It was a very vanilla bachelor party. We went to the banya, went to the Russian bathhouse,
Great.
and then we went out to eat, and we were playing board games at my house. But we were having a good time being loud, and there was a loud knock at the door. We opened it up, and there's a guy that said there was a noise complaint. I fully fell for it, and then he came in and he started stripping. And Brent, who had hired the guy, first of all, Brent starts freaking out a little bit because he's the stripper is kind of like coming towards everybody and trying to like. Brent's doing gesticulating right now.
No.
You want to stop there?
We can play the whole clip. I just wanted to say that.
I think it's good.
Yeah, we can jump in.
Oh,
yeah.
jump in. I just want to say I wasn't freaking out. That's an overstatement.
You
but-
fully freaked out at some point.
No, I didn't freak out. But okay, carry
you
on.
absolutely freaked out. You didn't just freak out. You ran away.
That I think you're creating that in your mind.
No.
Okay, but hold on. Carry on then. Actually,
Well, objection. No.
Overruled.
Oh, okay.
I was annoyed with the situation,
All right.
which we'll get to in a second.
Okay. Grind on them, and Brent pulls me aside and whispers, "That's not the guy I hired." And it was a different, like it wasn't just a guy. It wasn't a different looking guy. It was a different race. A different race. Like I looked at
Why
the
did
picture
Brent care?
because he was freaked out by the fact that he had hired
It's
one
never
person.
the same
Okay,
guy.
pause right
That's
there.
like
This is where we need to pause.
stereotypical.
Okay.
Okay, I wasn't freaked out that it wasn't the guy I hired. I had already gone outside and met with him before he came to the door,
And it was somebody else?
unbeknownst to you.
Wait a second. Like moments before?
10 minutes before.
You went out. Wait a minute. This is a crazier story than I remember.
Okay.
You went outside and were like, okay, you're going to go in. Here's the
Yes,
rules.
I explained
And then
the whole
when the
thing.
guy came to the door, was a new man?
No. My point is that I wasn't freaking out in that moment that you claimed to have witnessed because I already had discovered it wasn't the guy I ordered.
So you don't think it's possible that you came back to the house 10 minutes later with a little bit of confusion and or freaked outedness?
I wasn't freaked out about it being the wrong guy. First of all, I wasn't freaked out. I was annoyed.
You were freaked out.
I was annoyed that he didn't do what I instructed him to do.
Well, can I just stop you and say that night, all of the other fellas at the bachelor party, we had a little huddle, a meeting, and they were like, what are we going to do? Because Brent's freaking out right now. And everybody kept saying he's freaking out. He's freaking out. So I don't know. I think you maybe were freaking out.
Okay, well, yeah, but besides that, I wasn't freaking out.
Okay. All right.
And no, because so what happened? This is what happened. Okay, so I already knew who the guy was. I mean, I knew what we were getting that night, even though I picked 3 guys on the website. Okay, so you don't just select the guy that you want. You also have a backup and then a third.
Oh, you got the
runner-up,
third.
yeah.
A redundant backup.
Yeah,
And then a 4th guy shows up.
exactly. Yeah,
What-
I didn't get any of the 3 that I ordered.
What
okay?
happened when you went outside? Were you like, who are you?
No, I didn't. Again, I didn't even care. I mean, I just thought, okay, this isn't the guy I ordered. That's a little weird. You
Sure.
know?
And what
But
would-
my main concern was, I said, this is the plan. It's just a gag. Okay, I don't. This is more of a joke. I said, and I said, just go in, and the plan was to pretend it's the police, knock on the door, and then say I'm whatever. And
How
then
did you get away from me?
I, for some reason, snuck my way out and
Okay.
figured my way in. And I met them right outside, or the guy outside. And the other thing that was a little weird is he was kind of out of shape too, actually, which is, it was not, but all the guys on the website were just fully more than in shape. I mean, they were strong muscle men.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I told him just, 30 seconds, just take off your clothes and you don't, just get down to your, underwear or whatever and just dance around for 30 seconds and that's it.
Wait,
it's over.
you didn't tell him to take his underwear off?
Well,
I thought that was specifically what you told him.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if I did tell him to take off his underwear, actually. I just thought.
I have a vivid memory of you saying you told him you wanted him to get naked to the penis.
No, I just wanted him to strip down to his clothes and dance around
Okay.
and then leave. And that was it. And just a
Okay.
little gag. But instead, what happened was...
Well, should we keep
Well,
playing
keep
it?
going, yeah.
Because I think now our memories, or not memories, now my story is really diverging from yours.
Go ahead.
And I
Cool.
have an
So-
explanation.
Well, I have one too.
I have a
But
really good one.
Moshe's is better.
Thank you, honey. Appreciate that. Then the guy goes, first Brent starts running from him.
What did he think it was
mad
like?
that
a different race?
No, he was mad. He was like, not mad. He was sketched out because he was like,
Yeah.
wait, they sent me this picture of the guy.
Right.
It wasn't about his race, though, by the way.
Well, okay, hold on. Now, sir, you claim that your anxiety was about the fact that the dancer was not dancing appropriately according to the rules set out in the dance, correct?
Well, I said don't touch anybody.
Okay, that's your claim, correct?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with what you're saying. How do I even know that it was the wrong guy if you didn't pull me aside and say,
Because I told you later.
and then I superimposed a memory that you were upset in the moment?
Absolutely, because there's something you say in this clip that is really wrong, I think. But
All right, Your Honor.
and you block something else out of your mind. But we'll get to that.
All right, Your Honor. Keep
But by the way, it wasn't about his race. It was just it had nothing. I wasn't freaked out at that point.
No, I was never suggesting you were freaked out about his race. I was suggesting you were freaked out because you hired a guy and the guy came and was so different. He wasn't just like not the guy. He was like really not the guy.
That wasn't my issue with the
Okay,
whole thing. My issue was that he wasn't doing what I wanted him to do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The different person. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I only say it was a different race to say it wasn't a mildly different guy. It was like a really different guy. I
Yeah.
make that point
And
again.
he
He started chasing Brent in particular because I think he sensed.
No, this never
Brent
happened.
was paying for it.
No, he
This
sensed
never
that Brent was uncomfortable. And Brent
Mhm.
started literally running from him.
That didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Okay,
And
pause,
then-
pause.
then-
I don't know if this is compelling podcast fodder or not, but I know I know that you ran.
Okay.
Can we call one of the bachelors
How about this?
who was at the party?
Well, I mean,
You
look,
ran
I'll just
because
let
I
you.
remember you running. I
Maybe-
know where you were.
Well, maybe he started to approach me, and maybe I ran away
okay,
briefly.
thank you.
I don't
Would you
know.
say
It's
now,
not a big
sir?
deal.
Okay, it's not a big deal. But would you say if you're running away briefly,
I don't think that's freaked out.
sir? Let me ask the question, Natasha. I'll pose it to you. A person running away from a stripper, running. Would you call that behavior freaking out behavior?
Honestly, I would have to see it.
Oh my god!
It's just I didn't want him to touch me. is
You
all.
ran. You weren't like, no thanks.
No, but it wasn't like I ran for my life. You know, I just kind of moved out of the way.
No,
you know what
ran.
I mean?
You did ran. I don't know if you ran.
I
For your
wasn't
life.
running Forrest Run. I was just sort of, I mean, you make it sound like I was just, it was, Chariots of Fire or something.
All right, all
I
right.
was just, I just moved out of the way quickly.
All right, let's keep playing the clip. The guy got really there was this moment in his face where he came in thinking he was at a gay bachelor party and that we were going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
And he went from being serious to realizing we were all laughing at him.
That sucks.
That-
Uh,
no.
It sucks.
Okay.
And then so it was like not that great.
Okay, we can
And then
pause
he
there.
I think now, now that you're telling your version of events,
Mhm.
I actually think this part I
Embellished.
didn't embellish, you
Okay.
fucking piece of shit. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but that was a piece of shit move.
I
Objection.
No, I overruled.
What, overruled?
I just wanted to say that.
Okay. No, I think that I imposed on him because I didn't know the context. I think I saw him being sad and because I was sensitive to something that wasn't even there. Because now you're telling me he already knew it was a gag.
Well, here's my other point is I don't think he obviously didn't understand my instructions or something. And I don't think he probably even understood it was a joke, maybe, because I told him just do 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. He was
To the
there for
penis.
20 minutes.
Okay, all right.
And then but I didn't sense that about him myself. I didn't think he felt sad or anything like that. But
Okay,
anyway,
let's call the witness.
witness.
Yeah, the witness.
What
Or a witness.
Oh, you have a witness.
No, the evidence.
Okay.
The witness evidence.
Maybe
Me.
Moshe shouldn't become a lawyer.
Still feels like he's winning right now.
The stripper and said there are different things that I can do for money.
Okay,
So
hold on.
he
Can you
was like,
rewind
you
that just a
could
little
all
bit? That
fucking
part. This
do
is
what you
this
want.
is an embellishment.
It
I
is
think.
a whopper.
And I can tell you what my theory is. On
Okay,
this.
all right. And then so it was like not that great.
Yeah.
And then he grabbed me, the stripper, and said there are different things that I can do for money. So he basically was like, you could all fuck me if you want.
Oh wow.
So we
and
did.
that was the time I cheated on my wife.
Yeah, so we did, and I was always wondering, is that cheating?
Yeah.
Do you think
It's
that's
not cheating?
That's not cheating.
Okay, I
no.
think we
Okay.
can stop it.
Okay, I think
Okay.
we've got to the end.
Let me say this.
that was
is
Moshe being funny.
this
Thank
is
you, honey.
something that is very interesting to me, Moshe, because you first of all,
You think I'm
Inclu-
lying?
well, no, I think you suppressed a memory and you turned it into that instead.
What do you mean suppressed a memory?
Well, this is what happened. Okay, and this is definitely we can call somebody about this. He did show his penis, but only to you. He sat you down. and
Oh,
he-
because he knew that Moshe was the man of the hour.
Yes, that's right.
the birthday boy.
And he got a towel and he kind of, I guess, put it around his body or something like that, where only you could see his bottom half and everyone else couldn't. And he showed you his penis right in front of your face. And I remember you feeling a little traumatized by that after. And I, again, did not ask him to do that.
I
said,
think you did ask him to do that.
absolutely did not and wouldn't. I didn't want anybody to be touched or feel, invaded upon or whatever,
Mhm.
That's what I didn't like about the situation is that he just completely disregarded my, request. Don't touch anybody or grind on anybody or anything like that. It's just a gag, it's just a goof, And then instead he showed you his penis up close and I didn't see him whisper anything to you. And so I can't say that he didn't say that, but I think you blocked that out of your mind or your memory, him being, showing his penis in your face.
Wow, he
And-
straight up propositioned you.
Well, I think
He's
that
like,
Brent's
you know,
saying he didn't.
I think
There's a
that-
lot of things I can do for money.
That's what I remember.
I think you turned that memory that you didn't
into him.
into him propositioning you instead or
so.
something.
You think that I saw a penis? And
I know for sure you saw the penis.
No, but what you think is I saw a penis. I blacked out the memory of the penis and instead implanted a false memory where he was like, "I'll fuck you."
I think you somehow turned it into that.
Why wouldn't it? Couldn't it be both?
It could be. It could be.
Because
but
I
you-
remember what you're talking about.
This
with
is why I had my bachelorette party in a hot springs with my mom
What's-
and two friends.
No, but what's
No,
actually
it was funny,
I didn't want
though.
anyone bringing an ironic stripper into my evening. That
Well,
sounds like hell.
if I have anyone in my life that would do something like that, is definitely Brent, and it would definitely it was like really par for the course, and I wasn't surprised. Once I realized
yeah.
what had happened and who had hired him, I was like, yes, this makes sense.
Well,
Yes.
I just want to also give credit to Jesse, who's actually the one who actually ended up paying a lot of it, actually. Because
Oh.
I remember Jesse.
This sounds like
we
an
were all gonna-
expensive stripper. He
Well, we
was
were-
how much
propositioning
was it?
Moshe
No,
for
it was,
sex.
we were all going to split the money on everything,
Yeah.
And then Jesse ended up giving a lot of money into the pot that I just want to give him credit. It wasn't like I don't want to.
How much was it? How much was
I
it?
forgot actually.
What do you think? 300?
Something maybe like that or something like that,
Well, anyway,
But-
Brent.
But anyway, I just want you to know it wasn't. That's what I was upset about. It was that he didn't follow the directions, and I didn't want it to be that. He was there for 20 minutes or something.
You also were freaked out. I think the record will show that you were freaked out
I mean, I didn't want to be touched by his body.
and you ran.
I maybe skirted out of the way or
You
something.
ran.
He skirted.
He ran, man.
Brent skirted.
He
You
ran,
make it
Your
sound
Honor.
like I a marathon man or something,
So listen, Brent, we're so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me. And I'm
You
glad
have-
I got an opportunity to, clear
Get
my-
that? No, and I hear you, and I do think that it is really hard when something like that happens to figure out what exactly, because I've been in Moshe's situation. If that is what happened,
You
where
mean where you don't quite know
your
own
memory, it could be something different than what was actually there because of think of all the emotions
Because
the
of
night before you're getting married. Like
Plus
you
a
don't know
peni-
what's happening.
Plus
Right.
a penis in your face.
A penis in your
That's the part of
face
the
and,
story
like-
that feels like bullshit to me. I don't feel like
Oh.
Do you remember his
That-
breath?
no, but I don't feel like seeing a naked man would have traumatized me in any way. I've seen a million naked men. In
I
my
remember
life.
afterwards you said it was really intense, and you said that in this way that made me.
I
think,
believe
wow.
I would say that.
Yeah.
It probably was really intense. I mean,
Yeah.
I fucked a stripper the night before I was going to get married. I mean, you're not supposed to do that.
But
But,
you-
wait, Brent, I wanted to say. Oh, I want to say about memory. You know,
Cats,
what?
cats.
Cats?
What?
It's a song from Cats, honey.
Oh no, no, I wasn't going to sing that. No, this is what I heard about memory. This is really interesting to me. Memory, the way that your memory works is that when you remember something, you don't remember the original memory. You remember the way your brain pulls memories out of your brain. You remember the last time you remembered it. And so every time you remember something, you're remembering a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And all of our memories are extremely shoddy for that very
Isn't
reason.
that weird?
Yeah.
That's so weird to think that our memories, and basically our memories are what kind of define us as people, are these
Or fake.
really poor quality, Xeroxes or whatever of something that happened such a long, so many times. That's been Xerox so many times.
Yeah, you're
It's so
playing
weird.
telephone with yourself when you remember things,
But do you think that some things get more defined as they get copied, though, in a weird way, right?
That's interesting.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I feel like a memory can get even stronger, even if it's not real or something. I don't know.
Well, when it comes to this memory, the things that I remember are different than the things you remember. Like I remember you running. That's a really visceral memory. I remember where you were. Those are the details that I go to.
Right.
So even if it's a fake memory, that's the thing that it becomes about. So anyway,
I have memories from when I was younger where I think someone said something to me, but now that I'm thinking of it, sometimes I'm like, maybe it was just the action made me think
that they meant
the
that
memory.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And
I don't know.
You know what's also interesting is, do you ever have memories about things that you fantasized about, and then it was a fantasy from a long time ago that maybe you start to think was real, maybe,
Sure.
or something.
Or have you ever had this where you're like, you have a memory and then you tell it to someone, they're like, that happened to me.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's my experience. And
That's
you're like,
really interesting.
oh, you forgot that they told you that, but you remember the thing and it went into your own brain and you go, that's why all of my stand-up is accidentally stolen from George Carlin. I swear I thought I wrote it.
Okay, listen, Brent, we're so happy you're here. Do you want to take a call with us?
Oh, I'd love to.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
What would you say is the highlight of our child's month?
When she takes a nap? Oh, no, that's the highlight of my day.
Well, if you want to keep your kid stimulated and she's not napping enough, we cannot recommend KiwiCo enough to you because
I love KiwiCo.
Isn't it awesome? She gets these little packages once a month with all these really engaging, cool toys and books. They've got like all kinds of awesome lessons. There's STEM if your kid is into science stuff. There's these cute little koala characters that she gets to know and love. It's freaking awesome.
And she gets so excited when the crate comes.
It's called the crate, and she opens it up, and it's all this really fun stuff just for her.
They have science, technology, engineering, math, or art through hands-on activities like creating giant bubbles and experimenting with ice cream.
One thing that's super difficult about having kids is you have to figure out stuff to do with them. Well, KiwiCo does all the legwork for you so that you can just spend your quality time tackling those projects together. And there's things for kids of all ages.
There's also no commitment, so you can pause or cancel at any time. And then once a month, the box comes. And sometimes I'll save it for like a time when I know, like, okay, Saturday I'm home with her all day. Moshe's out surfing, leaving me home to solo parent.
Mm-hmm.
And so, save that little box and
pop it on
perfect.
Open. It's just like a little kiwi. It's a brown box, but inside there's a lot of sweetness.
Pack summer full of memorable discoveries with KiwiCo.
Get 50% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code HONEYMOON at kiwico.com. That's 50% off your first month at KIWICO.com, promo code HONEYMOON.
Okay, so Brent, we are going to call Gall,
Okay.
not Godot.
Gall.
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 We're going to play, but she said Gall.
Gall?
Do you mean gal?
Gall?
Gall.
G-A-L?
As
Okay.
as in bladder.
As in bladder?
Your
Yeah.
gallbladder.
Gallbladder. As in the Hebrew word for wave.
Okay, so we are going to call Gal in Atlanta.
What if Atlanta's where they shoot a lot of films and a lot of superhero films?
could
What
be
if it's
Gal Gadot?
That would be crazy.
Oh my God,
Let's
I hope
see.
it's her.
Let's see. It remains to be seen. Okay,
it's-
that's not Gal Gadot.
Well,
No,
it
it's
still
a
could.
man.
It still could be.
Okay, are you Gal
I'm
Gadot?
not.
You're not. Okay.
Could be. It could be makeup.
Unfortunately, not.
We didn't know because Atlanta, there's a lot of films that are being made.
And you do have dimples, so
Yeah,
that's
it's
good.
true.
And it could be makeup for a role.
All right. Gal.
I figured you, out of all people, would know where the name comes from.
I know it's the word for wave in Hebrew, right?
That is correct, and I have a tattoo of a wave as well.
Sick. Where is it?
On his
On my
arm,
forearm.
Oh, look at that. Now that's a wave. All right. Well, my brother in waves, how can we help? We have Brent Weinbach here and, of course, Natasha Leggero.
Right on. So there's this woman I've been seeing for about month and a half now.
Jewish?
No.
You should break up with her. Thank you so much for calling in, and we appreciate that. All right, go ahead.
Both her and I know that like it's not very serious just because her and I want different things out of our lives and relationships. And so in the meantime, I've been seeing other women, going on dates and whatnot. And, I'm kind of in this like dilemma where I'm wondering if like what I'm doing is cheating, even though we're in this place where we know it's not serious and we know it's going to be short term. And my other thing is like, should I even bother like continuing with it if I know that that's the case?
Ooh, I would call this a classic.
He needs just communication. How can you help him with
Amen.
communication?
Well, it's just Brent. Any thoughts here?
Communication.
But I mean, that's obviously what needs to happen, right?
Well,
like,
I mean, Gal, this is so simple. All you do is to either tell this woman, hey, just so you know, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm seeing other people. Or you break up with her because you're seeing other people and can't bring yourself to be honest with her.
But now, how do you help someone like Gal who's charming and, he just wants to party?
Got a wave tattoo.
He's got a wave
dimples.
tattoo.
He's got
dimples.
dimples.
He's charm for days. Okay, so
He's doing
how do you
coke off of the wave.
How do you tell a guy like this how to be direct and have these uncomfortable conversations with women? He doesn't really need to have uncomfortable conversations with women. He's too cute for that. He's above it.
Let me ask you.
Well,
Nicole.
How does he make himself have these conversations?
Oh, wait.
He
Brent-
smiles while he does it.
Yeah, Brent's like, well, I don't know if he's that cute. Honestly.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say use the cuteness to your advantage, and that's how you can have this conversation. Is make the conversation fun by being cute about it.
Yeah,
But
do it.
being
Do the
real.
cute, fun version.
Right.
Okay, you just show the
Right,
dimples.
right,
You
yeah.
smile a little bit. You kind of go, "Hey, listen. So this is not serious, right? It's like, we're having fun, right? We're just we're seeing other people.
Oh, Brent, you
show those
need
little-
dimples.
Yeah, you show those little and do this kind of thing. Whatever.
I mean, I'll tell you how I would do it in sincerity is I would text her, hey, I need to talk to you about something. You put yourself on the hook with the text. That way you can't weasel out of it. Right. So so then the next time she sees you, you'll be like, wait, what did you want to talk to me about? You go, I was just thinking I should tell you that I'm seeing other people. I know we're not very serious, but it's important that I'm just honest with you. That seems like, put yourself on that hook or stop seeing this person. But how have you ever had a conversation about it being monogamous?
Vaguely.
He's like,
It didn't get too
what's
deep,
that
but
mean?
I think that's good what you mentioned. Like just like the first thing I mention next time I see her, just to be like, hey, like I should
But
let you know.
It sounds like you are catching a vibe from her that she wants more from you.
Well, I mean, she wants more, but it's like yes and no, but like it was very much like that was very much communicated at the beginning, like
That doesn't matter. People change and feelings grow.
Women are like a wave. At times
Right,
they
right,
crest,
yeah.
at times they crash. They change. There is nothing. But people are like that. Natasha's right. If the person you started dating isn't the person you're dating now.
Why do you want to go out with her now?
Convenience, if you know what I'm saying.
Brent.
What does that mean?
Fucking for sex.
Oh,
So you're basically, how do I continue to use my girlfriend for sex?
but what about those other girls?
Yeah. Good question.
I mean, why
Aren't
don't you get fulfilled?
What,
sexually?
I hate to tell you this, and I'm sure that you won't back me up, Gal, but whoever has the biggest tits, that's the one he just wants to keep having sex with.
What are you talking about? No way.
Am I right, Gal?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, wait, Gal. What? Yeah. Why is this person? Why do you feel like you're cheating on this person if it's just for convenience, as you say?
I don't know. I guess like I'm worried that like the feelings will grow, like you were saying.
Not in you, but in her.
He's all, well, she tells me
Yeah,
she loves
yeah.
me and
Yeah.
that, she was wondering when I'm going to propose and stuff.
And I said I would propose,
I said I would.
and I did propose.
And I said I would love her forever until I die,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think that this person, this person deserves your honesty and your feeling. You seem like a decent guy that knows you're engaged in at least a little bit of dishonesty, emotional dishonesty at any rate. So you just have to cop to it and say, and she probably is going to be upset because it sounds to me like, do you think she thinks that you're exclusive?
I don't know, to be honest.
Well, I think you should just put it like this in this context. Something's been on my mind lately and I wanted to talk to you about it. Just that kind of thing, that this has been kind of bothering you and you just want to, get it off my chest or get it off your chest.
I like that. I hate this thing. And
Communication, there's nothing wrong with it. It won't affect your orgasms. I think it all enhances it.
It probably, I agree. It probably will.
It won't affect his orgasms, but it might affect your erections.
That's true. You'll just have orgasms out of a very flaccid penis.
It'll just come out.
And that's what real men that communicate and are honest with their partners, they always are having orgasms, never having erections. That's a classic truth.
That's how it is.
Right. It's part of growing up is having an orgasm when like
a soft O is what we call it. Yeah.
yeah.
But wait,
exactly.
I want to say this is so familiar to me from my youth. This thing where I know there's a thing that I should be saying. I know there's an action that has integrity, and I'm choosing to like dance in this like, oh, I'm not fully sure what she thinks. It's never been explicitly stated, and I don't know. I'm just a victim of a lack of information.
It's like kind of just turning a blind eye or something like that, right?
Yeah, and Gal, you seem like a guy who has some internal integrity. And it's time to start listening to that. You're getting older. You're what? You 25 now?
28.
28.
And
it's past time. It's
and there
3
might
years
be
past time.
someone better for you to hang out with if she's like, what? Because like if you say that to her and she's like completely distraught. But Moshe, can you give him a script? Like, what does he say that doesn't like completely offend?
I loved what Brent said.
Oh wait, what did you say, Brent?
Well, I just said, hey, something's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to get it off my chest. Just about the parameters of our relationship. I haven't been exclusive to, you just be direct about it, but be nice about it.
Yeah.
That it's been on your mind and it's been bothering you. Just say something's been on my mind that's been bothering me I just want to make sure that it was clear between us,
Yeah.
So you're saying then reiterate, I just want to make sure this is a casual thing.
And say
that's the hard part.
And say something's been on my mind the last, few days or whatever. And I just wanted to make sure, we're on the same page.
And does he have to offer any excuses as to why he's not
just
feeling like he wants to be committed right now? Because that's where I would go to if I were in his position. I'd be like, there's just so many things going on. I just have there's COVID, and there's I would just come up with
COVID.
I don't know. I would just bring up 10 different things as to why, when there's actually just a simple, you don't even have to say why. You can just say what you think, and that would be strong. But it's just hard to stick with that. That's all.
Well, I guess if she asks, well, how come you don't want to be in a committed thing? Then you got to start figuring something out, I guess.
Then you got to ride the wave.
Because then she takes it personally.
I have the plan. Okay, if she says, okay, well then let me ask, why do you not want to commit? You say, I'll be right back. And then you wait till the next week and call this podcast again and let us know, and we'll tell you what to say.
We'll tell you the rest of the conversation.
That's how you hook listeners.
That's right.
That's how you hook your audience.
Next week to see who.
Yeah.
I mean,
for the next bit of advice.
When I try to learn how to talk to my kid, I follow people on Instagram who give you scripts to say things to your kids so you don't get taken advantage of. And so I do think that sometimes that scripts can work. So that's why. What is the thing?
Well, I will say, thinking about this, I'm giving you very prescriptive advice, but it's a lesson that I didn't learn. It took me a long time to figure this out. I don't even know if I ever fully figured it out when I was single. I spent a lot of time pretending that I wasn't noticing that people weren't happy in a relationship. And it's only now that I'm older and I'm married and I'm out of that game that I'm going damn, I could have had more integrity in that situation. I could have said directly, I was always doing this thing where I was like, well, she didn't say she that's what she wanted. Why am I supposed to assume I know what she? But in reality, there were people that I knew had more feelings for me than I had, or people that I knew that would have been hurt if I told them that I wasn't exclusive to them. And I should have just been honest about that. I was never dishonest, but I did not have conversations that I knew were important to have. It's like that old Hedberg joke. What is it? He says, I don't have a girlfriend, but I know a woman that would be very upset to hear me say that. It's like, that sounds like where you are.
And if she does ask why you don't want to commit, you could just be honest, which I assume is that you...
Then walk out.
Yeah, then walk out.
Yeah,
But
just don't even. What if you just stood there and stared at her, just creeped her out and make her not want to be with you?
What
You
would-
know what I mean?
What would you want somebody to say to you when you were dating who you
I
had?
would never want anyone to tell me that they didn't want to think of me in a serious way.
Did you
Well,
never have
it-
casual things like that though?
I did, but like those people I never really wanted to talk to again.
Well,
You have
it's
to-
it's simple as this though. You just say it's not somewhere where
It feels
I
like
don't-
rejection. I
but-
can't.
Right, but even if it is rejection, then so be it. Then it
Yeah.
should be a rejection if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like that it should. If it plays out like that, where she doesn't like that you
Rejected.
didn't want to be commit to her,
Would-
then you shouldn't go out with her.
Yeah,
It's just
wouldn't you
over.
rather be rejected than lied to? Not
Oh,
that I'm
yeah.
accusing you of lying, Gull. I'm saying there's not enough honesty in this relationship that it's bothering you enough to call a podcast, right? If you really,
Right.
if you really were confident in the fact that this was really fully casual, then you wouldn't have this question. You already know the answer. You knew it before you called. You have to be like the wave.
right.
Every
Just
time
go
you
with
guys
the
mention-
flow.
Every time you mention the wave, I think of that. Do you remember that?
The wave. The
No,
wave.
do you- Well, there's that, but do you remember the that cult thing? You know it, yeah. Do you remember that cult? It was some kind of TV after school special or something about cults, and it was the wave, and it was this cult that kind of was built at this high school, and then it turned out their leader was Hitler. Do you remember that?
No. No. And don't bring up Hitler with a guy with an Israeli name on the phone. That's straight up disrespectful.
It was they were trying to teach a lesson about how the Holocaust happened.
I see.
That's what it was. It was that the wave was a lesson to teach how the Holocaust happened.
Listen, gal, you need to be an ally and you need to talk about your feelings and you need to just say what's on your mind and where you're at. And it's okay that you're there. And, you know, it's okay.
If she gets hurt.
It's okay if she gets hurt and it's okay to say what you want and it's okay to change what you want. But for right now, this is just where you're at.
And
So
don't mention the thing
it's
about
okay
how
to say it.
if she does say, "Why don't you want to be with me?" Don't say, for convenience. Don't do that. All right. Good luck, gal.
All right. Hey, I hope to see you guys in Atlanta soon.
We'll come. That sounds great. And we'll stare very deeply at your date and see if we think it's one of the new people or not.
He's not going to take
All
her
right,
to
just
our
don't say
show.
anything.
All right, we
see
won't.
ya.
Goodbye, gal.
The problem with him is that,
He's still on the line.
oh, here's the problem with him. Well, it's just hard because he wants to he wants to have sex, but when he keeps having sex with this girl and keeps like doing a thing with this person, he's cutting himself off from who might really excite him, whom he might want to have some kind of like future or more substantial relationship with.
Well, it's more than that. He's actually also robbing this woman of the opportunity
yes.
to meet somebody that would be interested in something more serious with her.
And that's why I don't think casual things work, because sometimes you're just being casual because you're not that into them. And then it's like it's taking up your energy for something that could be more meaningful.
That's right. That's why I abstained from casual sex for 2 full years before I met you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I rest my case, Honor. Your Honor.
Rest my case, Honor.
But I actually don't quite understand why it's important for him to be in a casual relationship with somebody if he has other casual relationships.
Because he
going
wants
on.
to fuck everybody. Because he's 28 and he wants to
My
fuck everybody.
guess was that she had the biggest tits, but everyone wants
But
that.
then why not just be into that only? If she's, you know what I mean? She's
no,
got
because
the,
he wants multiple partners, but he's got somebody that he's been seeing for longer that
It's
he feels
easy.
emotional fidelity to, even though he doesn't want to be with her. And so he feels like he's
You can have emotional fidelity and not want to be with someone.
absolutely. If you're seeing someone, even a booty call, even the most like casual booty call, if you booty call them long enough, they become familiar to you, and you start to like care about them in a way, but not enough that you are like, I want to be with this person.
see, this is some player type, philosophy that
That's all I got, player.
that is
Player philosophy.
Well, no, it's almost like this is from the player's handbook in a sense. You know what I mean? It's just,
Moshe used to watch that guy Mystery. He
Yeah, he's my kind of my.
wait, did you really watch him?
No.
Okay, you've never looked at anything
Absolutely
like that, right?
not. All those pickup artist people are to teach men that have no idea how to flirt with women, how to like construct an artifice in order to talk to women.
Have you ever you've read some of that stuff though, just for your own
Wait,
amusement, right?
Brent, can I tell you though? I took a movie writing class in San Francisco, and it was in a lecture hall, and Mystery had like the bottom half of the lecture hall, and so we would go down during the break, and Mystery was there in a top hat, and he was just talking to all these like short guys, just kind of like holding court, and I wanted to like skip our class and like go listen, but there was all men, so they would have seen me to what this guy was telling all these like, and they all seemed short.
It's so
Sorry,
It's funny.
that seemed to be the theme.
I was just talking to my podcast partner, Doug Lucenhop, about shortness and about how short is deemed as kind of unattractive or negative or something like that. That's kind of interesting, though.
But I don't think it really
Well,
is.
it
But
is.
with these guys,
No, it is.
There-
No, I'm not saying it is unattractive. I'm saying it's deemed unattractive in the world. Ergo, those people,
but only in men.
only in men. Those people, I actually find short women to be disgusting.
Disgusting.
No, but short men, as a result of that stigma, a lot of times would be the type of people that never learn to naturally flirt and express their sexuality with the woman, and then it becomes a complex, and then it becomes almost a disorder, and then they have to go to somebody like Mr. E. So it's like I'm not surprised there was a lot of short guys, not because I know.
Oh,
Because
right.
there's other short guys. I know a lot of one of my best friends. Like he was my best friend growing up. Said to me what he always was like very popular with girls and had like very confident guy, super confident. And he came up to me like 10 years into our friendship. He goes, I just realized I'm kind of short. Like he had all
What's
this.
kind of short?
He's probably 5'6", but he had all this confidence.
That's
and
short.
It never occurred to him that he was short because he didn't have that feeling. And so shortness isn't the problem. The problem is like just being confident. And if you're confident, then you don't need somebody like Mystery to teach you how to talk to a person. You just are confident. You go say, hi, how are you?
You know what revelation we had?
Oh, and they were all wearing top hats. Did I say that?
No,
Wait,
that's
all
very
the
funny.
audience was
Well,
wearing top
one
hats?
of his rules is peacock, and which means like wear something crazy so that everyone stares at
That's
you.
funny. So it wasn't
And
stuff
so
that
it
it's
was
just
like-
stuff that accentuated their height. Is the funny thing too. It's just, it makes them seem taller because they could have peacocked by wearing some kind of big jacket or something. But instead it was
Exactly.
something to make them taller. But the revelation we had, Doug and I had tonight actually, just before coming here, was that okay, when someone's kind of being aggressive or being overly confident and they're short, people think, oh, he has a Napoleon complex or something, right? Or something like that, right? But if someone's tall and they're being like that, they don't say that. They just think, oh yeah, he's like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of interesting that tall people can get away with being alpha because they're tall, but
Although
a
there's
short guy is going to say, they're going to say, oh, has a complex.
Although I have noticed in the opposite direction, unbelievably tall people, really large people, that the kind of people the minute you see them, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I find those people generally are incredibly gentle because
Gentle giant.
because they have their own complex. Which
Okay,
is that
first of all-
hold on just a sec. They have their own complex, which is that every time somebody sees them, they get scared, so they start acting smaller than they are.
As the only person here who is actually almost legally not normal height, I'm 4'11". Is anyone here closer? Like, what is like the height of a normal adult?
4'12".
I think like 4'8" is a little person.
No,
I'm 4'11".
4'8" is not a little person.
Actually, how tall is? What is the legal?
I don't know.
Because actually, how tall is Danny DeVito? Do you know?
He's very short. He's
He's
like
like
5'2".
I'm 4'11".
Right.
Okay, anyway, I'm just saying. Yes, do you have a question? Thank you. A legal short person is 4'10".
A legal short person. You know what?
I'm
I actually
1
think-
inch.
by the
I'm
way-
the only person who can even talk about this.
I think short person sounds better than little person. Actually,
Yeah, they should have
little
said
sounds-
short person.
Sounds kind of
Why
demeaning.
are we weighing in?
These are my people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Natasha.
She's a little person.
Okay,
Speak truth
so
to power.
if I were 1 inch shorter, I would be a little person. So let me just say, my whole life,
Mhm.
since you guys are asking, I have felt, like ducks, they're like kind of like cool and smooth, but they're like paddling really hard. Being small is like that.
Really, that's a good.
You paddle hard.
Inside, like you're just never like,
Really?
you always feel And then I also, because I've been a short person my whole life. And then and people my whole life were like, why are you so short? You're short. Oh, I would like you if you weren't so short. Like,
Really?
even that agent, he was
I would
like, you could
if
be.
you were so short.
I remember in like second grade, this like the cutest guy came up to me. He was like, too bad you're so short. You're pretty. Like, it was like, whatever, who cares? Anyway, the point is, I just remember always like an onslaught of that. And then I also remember, I wanted to tell you guys, I remember reading.
Tell them the story about the agent.
Oh, and then I had an agent.
Tell them the story. This is a good story.
I can't tell the whole
You don't
story,
want-
honey.
all right.
They'd have to read my book. But basically, I finally got an agent in New York. And it was like this huge deal. And I like gave him this monologue. He's like, that was amazing. Can you come back next week and do it for everybody? So I came back next week. He had the whole agency there. It was like Times Square. He had a view. He was like an agent I knew about. And I did it. And he was like, that was amazing. They clapped. And then I went back to my college and I was like in the student center. And he said, call me at 3:00. So I called him at 3:00 on the payphone. And then he was like, that was a great job today, but after discussing it with everyone, we just have all realized you're too short to ever make it as an actress.
Oh my, Natasha, you know what the problem is? You should have worn a top hat. If you wore a top hat during that performance, you would be,
That lady with that tall lady with the top hat was a very good actor.
Then I started hyperventilating in the student center, and that was like, like I just thought like this man has. I mean, by the way, he was a short person. I mean, he wasn't a tall person, but
he wasn't trying to be an
as
actor.
you
Yeah, he was
meet,
an agent. I mean,
like,
By the way, Tom Cruise is a tiny little thing.
he
I
done
just
a little thing.
I just took a tennis lesson the other day from this guy, and he was like, like 6'2", like, just like these like specimen of like, he was like Italian. Like, I just feel like
6'2" in Italian.
I read this quote in Latin, and basically what the translation was being tall, half the battle is already fought. And I do feel that like if you're a tall specimen of a person, like not like tall and there's like a certain zone, but you also have to be attractive. So who knows?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, it's like I said, a short person, if they're trying, if they seem like they're dominant or something, it seems like they're compensating for something, or people might think that. But if they're tall, that checks out. He's gonna be aggressive.
Life is filled with
but not even
challenges.
aggressive.
Not aggressive, but just
you
dominant.
could be
dominant,
suave.
but
You could just
dominant,
like
yeah.
float through life because you can see everybody. When I go to a cocktail party, I can't see anybody.
Right.
So like, and then also having to wear
but
heels.
I'm good at parties with you, aren't I? I'll go up to all the big players at the party. I'll say, "Have you met my duck?"
I'm just saying,
Look
it's
at her
like
little paddles.
No,
right?
it'd
but
be
you're
nice
right.
to be like 6 feet.
You want to be 6 feet tall? I don't think 6 foot tall women have an easy time of
That's
life
not.
either.
Look, you 5'8" maybe.
Okay, 5'8".
All I'm
5'7",
saying-
5'8".
My point is, everybody.
I wasn't gendering it. I was just saying it'd be nice to be above everybody and kind of see what's
By
going
the way,
on.
I used to feel that way. I used to feel like I wish I was a couple inches taller, so that
I used to wish I was a baller.
I
wish I had a
had
girl
a
who
rabbit
looked good
with
at-
a rabbit
with
and a hat and a top hat. Yeah.
It's a song you may not know. Hey, Tosh, I totally agree. There are a million challenges that people have, and they can either traumatize them or they can define them, and sometimes being whatever different version, being tall, being short, being freckled, being whatever it is, it's like a thing that can oppress you. It can define you. I mean, I think you probably wouldn't be the dynamic person that you are if you weren't short, if you weren't paddling so much. So
Right. The paddling kind of gave you that drive.
yeah, you got that paddle
know?
strength.
Yeah, you got paddle strength.
And you know what you do when you're surfing and you see a wave, a
Paddle?
gull coming? You got to paddle.
It all kind of is all linked together,
It
isn't
is.
it?
It is.
Yeah. Have you ever done duck face in a photo before?
All right. Well, Brent, do you want to maybe stay and listen to some secrets, or do you want to do another call?
Oh, we got another call to do.
I have to pee.
Go pee. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
You know how you've been saying that you need a psychiatrist?
No.
You've been constantly saying that?
No.
You know how you've been saying that you need somebody to deal with your toenail fungus and stuff?
No.
Well, anyway, if you had either of those doctors that you needed to see, the place I would recommend is ZocDoc. We cannot recommend the Zoc to the Doc enough.
I mean, I got to say, this is kind of crazy, but I used it today.
Really?
Yes.
You made an appointment on ZocDoc today?
Yes, with the ZocDoc doctor I met last time, and now I can just FaceTime him, and it's really easy, and we have a rapport.
They make this so easy. It's a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, that take your insurance, and that are available when you need them. That's the important part. You go into their app, and they show you, here's all the doctors around you, and here are all the times that are available. So you can often get same-day appointments, next-day appointments at whatever time works for you.
You can also read up on local doctors. You can get verified patient reviews. That's how I picked mine. And see what other real humans had to say about their visit, not bots.
Go to ZocDoc.com/honeymoon and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many available within 24 hours.
Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc, and I am one of them. It's my go-to whenever I need to find or book a doctor.
That's ZocDoc.com/honeymoon. ZocDoc.com/honeymoon.
Okay, so we're gonna call Daniela in Queens. Hopefully, she's not a short man.
I think she's not.
Where's she looking?
Queens.
Queens. Okay. What's all these? Yeah,
Late night
East
East
Coasters.
Coasters.
East Coasters. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Daniela.
Hi, guys.
Hi. You're up late. Thank you.
There was actually a little snafu. I fell asleep for the first time. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Well, listen.
For the first time in what?
For I think I was supposed to be on earlier. My bad.
Oh, got it. Well, that's okay. I've always called New York the city that never sleeps. Have you ever heard that?
I have to say, Daniela, I'm really excited to hear what your problem is because you're extremely vibrant and attractive, and you just woke up.
You seem like you have no problems.
You just woke up and you look like this, so like you're
Yeah.
so laid back. You got sleeve tattoos.
Yeah, you do look cool. And
What's up?
Sleep tattoos. I've never heard of those. That's cool.
What? You've never heard of that?
Sleep tattoos?
No, sleeve tattoos.
Oh, I thought you said sleep. Listen, I just woke up from a nap.
See,
My bad.
she rolls with it. I bet she would be down for an open. Now, this is someone not knowing anything about her. She wants to keep it open.
Don't agree. Do you like open relationships?
Nah.
No, I didn't. I knew it. Hey, by the way, speaking of relationships, we would like to have you engage in a relationship on this podcast with our guest, Brent Weinbach, who is here joining us. And of course, Natasha and I are here.
Don't proposition her, honey.
No, I'm saying in a podcast relationship. Like they're going to.
Yeah, not a romantic relationship.
No, this is going to be
just
purely
a professional
comedic
relationship where
advisory.
we go to dinner and we spend time, walks on the beach together and
make
so
plans
forth.
for the rest of our lives, and Danielle, I was born in Queens.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm from Flushing.
I'm from Forest Hills.
She's not impressed, honey.
Well, she's
Hey,
impressed.
Daniela, I've seen The Nanny.
Yeah. Okay, Daniela, how can we help?
So, I've been in the dating pool recently, and there's this one guy that I went on a date with, two actually. Both a few kind of like days apart. First one went really nice. Actually, he's a really cool dude. And then the second one, the morning after, we're both walking to the subway because we're both going to work. And he ran into like a neighborhood friend and introduced me as his girlfriend out of nowhere. And I was like, news to me.
This was after your first time together?
No, this was our second date.
Dude,
So
that's
the first
rude.
First sexual encounter.
It's like he was using you because you're so hot as like a prop to be like, oh yeah, see, I'm pretty much done good with myself.
Natasha, you nailed my feelings exactly.
Thank you.
I was just like, ooh.
That is like really gross.
Once again, a spot-on impression of a man. Though. That was crazy. I felt like I was in the room with your date. So,
have you ever heard a male comic? They're like, and then my wife was like, can you please not do that?
Yeah,
I'm just doing the male version of
That's
that.
pretty good, Natasha.
Thank you.
You should do that.
Yeah, that's funny. You should do that for
That's
your
just
own voice.
an impression of Minnie Mouse.
Okay, Daniela, sorry. So you felt shocked and like it was out of nowhere?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to kind of keep it under like my reaction not as crazy as it was in my brain because I didn't want to make him feel awkward. I didn't want to embarrass him in front of his friend or whatever. But
Listen, everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. He might have gotten nervous. This might have been like an old guy who he was like had a thing. It was a guy, right?
yeah.
I mean, maybe they had, I don't know, but I mean, I definitely think you need to like, if you're going to continue to see this guy, you're going to have to say, you're going to have to maybe say something like, listen, that was kind of weird. I'm not your girlfriend. I like you, but we're not, I felt a little used in that situation. I'm sorry and see how he responds.
Well, yeah. What do you want to know?
Did you feel used even? I think it's more just it was weird, right?
No, I didn't feel used at all. Actually, it didn't hit me until like a couple of hours later. I was just like, whoa, this guy thinks I'm his girlfriend after a second date. Cause we literally like, we went on our first day on a Saturday, parted ways, and then made plans for some time during the middle of the week. So
I get it. Wait, did you guys had sex?
On the second date.
Yeah, I get why you were upset because you're like, we just had sex. You're my husband. I'm not your girlfriend. We're married now. That's what you should have. That's how you should have played it, dude. You should have said, did you just call me your girlfriend? We had sex. I'm your wife, dude. And then he would have
I'm on your
took
will
off.
now. Yeah.
Daniela, do you like him?
So that's the thing. After that happened, so I didn't want to say anything because this happened a week ago. He works in film. He's shooting something. So I haven't really seen him because he's out of town. But he's also exhibiting like boyfriend behavior through text.
Like what?
Boyfriend behavior.
So just good morning every morning, which is very nice. Sending me like little like photos from the film and asking me, I don't know. I sound like a real.
No, I'm just thinking about all the incels listening to this right now going, see, this is our fucking problem. Girls say they like a nice guy, but this guy's being so cool. But I hear you. He seems like you got a class 5
He just
clinger.
really likes you a lot.
Yeah, but it's a clinger. You
I
gotta
hear
have
that. I hear
you know
that.
what? It's like you gotta have game in both directions. You have to know how to talk to people.
There was also another instance. So it's not like he's on the other side of the country. He lives in Brooklyn. He's filming in New Jersey, but he's having to stay at a hotel there. And there was just an exchange over the weekend, like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm working, I'm doing this, whatever. And he goes, I wake up to a text that's like, so what time are we getting breakfast? Because I guess he had to go back to his apartment to get some things. And I was like, this is unbeknownst to me. And I was like, we didn't make plans, did we? He was like, no, I was just wondering if you wanted me to drop by some bagels or something. And I was like, oh no.
He was trying to be flirtatious. I feel bad for this guy. I know what happened here.
Yeah.
This is just mean. You're out of his league a little bit. And he was like so sprung that he's doing all this dumbass like just simp bullshit because he's like doesn't quite know how to handle you and he's striking out. I
think you need to think about what you want from a dude and from a man and from a relationship, and think about like who would excite you. Deserve to be excited. So
yeah, I mean, I do have to say that like it just made me I definitely want a serious relationship. That's
just not with this simp.
He is
just not with a boyfriend or a husband.
Well, it's a crazy flex to the day after you sleep with someone for the first time to introduce them as your girlfriend.
That's weird.
That's the worst
weird.
thing
That's
he's
the
done.
That's the only thing that's been weird, I think, so far. I mean, the boyfriendy stuff is maybe he just likes you and stuff, and that's okay. I can we can
the texts you mean
whatever. Yeah. But sorry, that's what I meant. But no, introducing you as your girlfriend, that is a little weird. Definitely,
and then honestly,
it's not a little weird. It's really weird.
No,
actually.
and I'll take it one step further, Your Honor. It's weird it's very weird to do the boyfriend thing and to follow it up with boyfriend behavior.
Yes.
That's in the
Sure,
zone of like
sure.
this.
And he didn't comment on it too and say, "Hey, sorry, I called you the girlfriend." I don't know why he said that. He didn't say anything like that, right?
No, in fact, on the subway ride, he was trying to be like flirty, like, oh, hey, like this morning I had a really good time because we had some hanky panky in the morning, and I was just like, why are you telling me this in the subway, please?
Did he call it hanky panky?
Well,
it was a bit of a turn off.
Yeah, I would be turned off.
Yeah.
And also, he's older, which I think
I mean, I
adds
think
another dimension of weirdness.
I think we've assessed the situation.
yeah.
Here's the problem too.
Yeah,
When you don't like how someone does one thing, you don't like how he introduced you, and then you don't like how he's texting you, and then you don't like. It kind of seems like you don't like him, and you just have to ask yourself, why are you dating people who you're not into?
Yeah,
I think that's the bigger issue.
He's a sweet man. Everything else was good up until this little.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just going to be 5 more things in 10 days that you don't really like about him because you don't really like him. But for some reason, you're tolerating him. Yes, Brent?
You saying he's a sweet man and that he's older made me just think he was 75 or something. You know what I mean? Or 80 or
75
80,
is young, Brent.
Or 80 or 80.
He's like a local fella that gives out hard candies at the park. He's like, he's a sweet man. And he's harmless.
And right, maybe girlfriend is more of an older expression. She's a friend of mine who's a girl. Oh, this is my girlfriend, my lady friend,
Basically, he might have had a shot, even though he's a little bit you're a little out of his league. He might have had a shot if he'd had game, but instead
he's probably hot, but not got a great personality.
Is he hot?
How old
no,
is he
actually,
really?
don't answer that.
I can tell he's hot. She likes hot guys.
The age difference is only like 9 years. I'm 31. He's like
40. That would make him 40. Yeah, and 40 is very young and vibrant.
Yeah, so it's like I just didn't understand why he was.
Oh, you're saying he's old enough to know better.
It really was a turnoff.
Yeah, I think that you should just end it. And you know what? It's these are lessons that one has to learn. That hey, don't get all. Boy, what you gonna call someone your girlfriend after knowing them that short?
I mean, honestly, do you want to break it off with him?
Therein lies the big question. I don't know how to approach this because I would like to see him again. Maybe
why?
He's cool. He's funny. We had a good time. I would hate to I think this is more on my side that maybe I'm reading too much into this and it just made me feel uncomfortable in the moment. And so now I'm just writing him off completely.
Well, you have an option. One is to tell him that you're not feeling it and you want to move on. And the other, I think, honestly, your only other option in this situation is to tell him, I got to tell you, you called me your girlfriend and that was not, I didn't like it.
And maybe he could step up, but it sounds like he's just kind of annoying. And it sounds like he's going to keep doing annoying things. But if you tell him how you feel, it's good practice. I remember once I was a waitress and this girl came in and this girl I waitress with, she was beautiful. She would always have a lunch date. And we would have a break for 40 minutes. And she was always going with some guy up the street. Different guys would come in. And I'd be like, one guy was so nasty. And I was like, why are you going on your break with him? And she was like, social practice. And she was learning how to eat clams or whatever up the street during our 45-minute break with this incel or this dude who was so far beneath her. But anyway, the point is you can use these people as practice, not in that way, no, but just to say practice saying what you think. You don't really care about this guy that much. Practice just saying hey, that made me feel really uncomfortable when you said I was your girlfriend. If you want to keep hanging out with me.
Well, I kind of do care. I don't want him to if he really is an incel, I don't want him to murder me.
To kill you.
Because I break it off or something.
Right.
You don't have to.
So
I
want to approach it in a way that's oh, that was a little weird. It has been a week, so I don't know.
Well, maybe just approach it like this. Hey, I wanted to. There was something on my mind. Something's been on my mind that's been bothering me.
Listen,
okay? And do you have dimples, by the way? Because that will help too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna call back to something else we were talking about earlier. But I just want to say real quick. All you have to do is really just ask him as a question. So, just out of curiosity, why did you refer to me as your girlfriend when
that's good. Make it a question.
Make it a question. Not
That's
It's
great
not-
because then he can be like, "Oh, well, we had sex, so we're boyfriend and girlfriend,"
And
or
you
he
say,
can
"Okay,
be
'cause
like,
I'm
"I know
not-
that was weird."
Yeah, I'm not really that.
Yeah.
Then you can say, don't feel that way. I mean, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
And so, question, not an accusation.
I
but
like
more
that.
A question.
I
That's
like that.
my
I mean,
And-
oh, sorry.
I just want to say I'm not condoning to say like to practice social practice, but why not use our lives as practice to just try to become better and more clear and more powerful and more, ourselves, why not use this
I just don't want to come off
relationship?
as like harsh.
Well,
you
here's-
know?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares is right. But here he did something weird. He did something socially weird and unacceptable. You
You feel it's harsh to confront him because that's like a feminine thing where you're like, oh, I should just like I'm like always like trying to fan the flame of the male ego at
which
all
I
times.
do like about you.
But it's exhausting.
But I will say-
I'm actually bored of that.
Yeah. Well, listen, honey, if it makes you feel any better, you honestly often do not fan my ego and in fact womp it in a way that feels like sort of Shaquille O'Neal dunking on a Lakers basket.
I know
But-
it's hard.
But here's the thing. I'm thinking about it more. He did something that not just was weird, it was not cool. Like it was not acceptable. You can't declare a woman your girlfriend
Yeah, it's very immature.
without her consent or talking to her about it.
You need
And
to
so-
talk to him about
So
that.
removing the part where he might murder you, which is a thing that might be true of all men, removing that, it might be good for him to hear that that's not a cool thing to do just because you sleep with someone to declare them your girlfriend.
Sparing him from murdering someone else. Probably.
That's right. Yeah, you got to take this one for the team and put
It's just-
yourself out
it's
there.
not even about it being uncool. To me, it just seems really drastic to
Yeah.
think.
But it is
I'm
uncool.
all of a sudden I'm in a committed relationship with somebody or something like
But
that.
I think
or
it is
whatever that
uncool. It's presumptuous.
He probably got nervous. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
maybe
think.
it was a nervous
It doesn't
thing,
matter when you do nervous. When you're nervous and you do something uncool, you should be told. But if you don't want to tell him, then you should break up with him. Those are your choices.
And I also think it's really important to let people know what they can get away with and what they can't. And that's maybe your job is to be like, oh, that is actually something. I mean, you don't have to say it like that. You can't get away with that. But I think just drawing attention to
Yeah.
it.
But the third option, which is not saying anything about it and going out with him on another romantic date, I do not recommend.
I think also like when it actually happened, I think like I don't think he was nervous about it at all because I think the nervous thing would be to be like, oh, this is maybe not introduce me at all. Just like,
Oh, like Napoleon Dynamite. Be like, this is my girlfriend kind of a thing.
or just like, I don't know. I feel like if I was in the same position and I ran into like one of my friends, I would have been like, this is
Doug.
John,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually, if it's at this stage, second date or whatever, I mean, I probably would say, this is my friend, I would say
Yes.
friend, I'd
Yeah,
say friend.
introduce me by my first name
Yeah.
if that needs.
For me, I would say, this is my friend Daniela. We had sex for the first time last night.
One last question about this guy. Does he by any chance wear a top hat?
Also, I have
Good
to say,
question, Brent.
I think that like people are either cool or not cool, and
And
it
this
was
is-
not cool that
Yeah.
what he did. And so I think that like you kind of need to like gauge him a little bit more because if he does like 4 more not cool things, like he's not that cool. So don't hang out with him.
Yeah, I am sensing a pattern, which is he is declaring himself into your life. I am your boyfriend.
Yeah, like after he said that, I was like, if we go on a date and he says I love you, I'm gonna lose it.
No, but it's easy. It's easy to
This has mystery written all over
totally.
it.
It's easy to ignore.
I bet this is one of Mystery's rules. If you run into a date and you see your friend, you say like, "This is my
my
girlfriend."
girlfriend.
Yeah, like
He's-
it's like a flex.
Well,
But
yeah.
he's doing this thing where he's insinuating himself into your life without your consent. It's like, this is my girlfriend. When are we getting breakfast? Hey, I'm gonna text you every
Yeah,
day.
the breakfast thing was the last straw. I was just like, I'm sorry, did I miss something? Were you gonna drive to my house and drop off these bagels? I don't know. What was
Without
going
the
on.
girlfriend thing, I could forgive that for sounding flirtatious. But with the girlfriend thing, it's like somebody needs to talk to you. Yeah, I think.
Just ask the question.
Ask the question. Put the top hat on. Ride the
Yeah.
wave.
All right. Well, good luck, Daniela.
Maybe
I hope
get
we
a-
could help you.
Maybe get a bunch of questions,
Hey.
put them in the hat, and draw one out.
That's a good one. Hey, Daniela, will you tell us how this goes? Will you keep us apprised? I would love to know how this shakes out.
You can actually text Moshe directly.
No. Contact us and come back on. Tell us how it goes.
I will.
All
I
right.
definitely will. But
Thank
I know
you.
how to broach the subject now a little bit better.
Good,
Thank
because
you.
of old Brent Weinbach. Well, thank you for staying up late with us, and we appreciate that. And the fact that you stayed up this late with us, you know what that means, right?
Not sure.
You're our girlfriend now. We love you. Good night.
She just automatically has to like be the one.
She's our girlfriend. You're the podcast
Honestly,
girlfriend.
she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
I think I would be open to her.
Absolutely. When are we getting breakfast?
When are you getting breakfast? Exactly. That's the next line. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Thank you guys so
Goodbye,
much.
good luck.
Huge fan. I will be joining the Patreon.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
I just feel like women are superior.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's great. Oh, what do you mean women are superior? Men talk like this.
Well, she means they're superior as far as body parts goes and stuff.
Mhm.
Boobs.
I mean, that
and
woman
stuff,
was like so attractive, and
you
like
don't know
can
what that
tell
guy looks like.
he sucks. He told if I were with a guy, and he was like, "This is my girlfriend." First of all, I would give him a crazy look.
I mean,
And then when we got home, I would be like, dude, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
I'm trying to imagine.
That's why I'm like, why didn't she say something?
I know. Well, she was taken aback, but I'm trying to imagine the same situation with me. If I would like the night after I slept with a girl for the first time, I'm walking to the train. She's like, this is my boyfriend. I would be
Actually,
I would never call her again.
You know what? Even if it's my girlfriend, I wouldn't say this is my girlfriend. I would say this is so and so. Their name.
Right.
I wouldn't say they're my girlfriend.
This is my boyfriend.
weird to
Maybe
say
that's
that-
like 2.5 years in, and you're like,
but that's weird to even say this is my. Why do you have to say that?
it's
you know?
not.
just-
It's not a cool instinct.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, these are called red flags.
Just say this is Natasha.
The only
that's
time,
it,
the only
or
time I'll tell
whatever.
somebody this is my wife is if I'm in a social situation and a man tries to speak to Natasha. I say that's my wife.
Uh-huh.
And so he now knows not to.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
No, she was cool. It just like
I feel bad for the guy because
he might just need to know.
he might just be awkward.
He needs to learn lessons.
The boy need to learn.
But also, I think people get nervous and they're just like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Ugh," and that could have been like
Yeah, it could
a
have
guy
been-
who beat him up
No,
when he was
but
in
if you-
third grade
listen,
or
if
something,
you're
and he's like,
nervous-
"Oh, this is my girlfriend."
No, but see, if that happens to you, you go, "Oh, this is my girlfriend," like how guys say it.
Mhm.
You're responsible to later on in the subway go, "Listen, I know that was weird when I
Right.
said you were my
Right.
girlfriend. Sorry about
He
that."
should have
Yeah.
said. He would have said something later if it was a sort of
Yeah.
nervous thing. He should have said, "I don't know why I said girlfriend. Sorry about that. I know that was weird." You know?
And
Yeah.
and also like when you're first meeting someone, those are like the fun times where it should be all about like interesting things and funny things and things that you guys have in common, and it's not like about like weird interactions and then fights over those.
Listen, I'm on her side because she said she's going to join the Patreon. If you would like to support this podcast, join our Patreon. Brent will actually be on our secret dump this week in the Patreon only secrets, so you can listen along with Brent. And you can find us Patreon/Endless Honeymoon.
And also, if you have a secret, give us a call at 213-222-8608 or send us an email if you have a question or you'd like to be on the podcast. endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. Sorry if we can't get to everybody.
Brent, do you have anything you would like to plug?
I got this podcast also called The Poundcast. I co-host it with DJ Doug Pound. Doug
Love
Lucenhop.
him.
And he's a friend.
Big fan. Why don't
Of
we
you-
have
of your
Dougie
guys?
on?
We should have Doug on.
And and anyway, so check that out. The
Wait,
Poundcast.
what's
You
the
get
name of the Poundcast?
The Poundcast, yeah.
But you guys were doing some great videos too.
Well, we do a web series. We did a web series called Pound House, but yeah, that podcast, and then also I started this thing I do weekly with my sister. It's a live stream. It's
Your sister's a very talented musician.
and she's also happens to be really funny too, I think. And she's we do this thing called the Chicken Coop on YouTube. It's every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's a live
The
stream.
Chicken
thing.
Coop?
Yeah, we kind of just do different segments and we chat and stuff. And
Cool.
and that's
Wait, what day?
Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific
Moshe,
time.
why don't we turn into the Chicken
I'd love
Coop?
to watch the Chicken Coop. I wanted
And-
to. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, you can find it at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Brent Weinbach, as well as other videos.
Natasha, you got anything to plug? Pre-order your book.
Oh, I have a book coming out called The World Deserves My Children. It is out. You can look at my Instagram to see how to pre-order it. But Brent, I have a question for you.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I know your sister, Laura Weinbach, is very talented. And I'm curious because I have a child. When did you start When did she start getting like music lessons?
Yeah, I mean, we never really got into it at an early age, and you should never force your kids into it.
You
right?
shouldn't say like you have to pick at 5. You have to pick an instrument.
No, because if you force them into it, they're not going to like it, and they're going to want to not be into music. And because we all, our whole family, all the kids in our family are musicians, and we all got into it kind of in a very organic way. Where, you know, when I was 14, I started listening to jazz more, and I started getting into it.
We were not
talking about
asking, no, we're talking about Laura.
No, I know. I just was saying that.
You
know,
started listening to jazz at 14 on your own volition, not that your
I just
mom
thought
was
this
like,
sounded cool. My parents were into jazz already, but I mean, I started thinking it was cool when I was 14, and then I started wanting to take lessons when I was 15, and I wanted to take lessons. And the same thing kind of happened to my sister, although I will say this. My dad did do one thing that was a little bit, I don't know if you want to call it, he didn't force her exactly, but if she got in trouble and got grounded, he would let her get out of the grounding if she would memorize these jazz song standards. If she would memorize the singing those jazz standards, and he said if you do that, you can become ungrounded or whatever. And so that was something that.
So she would like have to sing a jazz standard for him to become ungrounded.
Yeah.
Huh?
Anything goes.
That's not a jazz standard. But
Isn't
she was
it?
like, "Smoke gets in your eyes."
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you have her? Do you remember?
I bet that was
singing?
one of them actually. Yeah. No, yeah, and so it's he wanted that was just so that was one thing that was a little bit he kind of tried.
But would
to
she?
make
All right,
her-
let me ask you this: did she have to perform for him?
Yeah, I mean, sort of. She had to sing it for him, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
And she'd memorize it.
that would be a pretty flawed system if he's like memorize it, but you don't have to perform it for us. You're like,
So he's like,
I memorized it, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Brent Weinbach, you are a gentleman and a scholar and a great comedian, and also you have a wonderful memory.
Oh, I wish I had that.
Yeah, and
Well, he's being facetious to some degree, I think.
no,
right?
he remembered everything. Remember, Brent? Yeah,
One last thing,
yeah.
your kids will get into, or your kid will get into music. If you're into music and it's always in the house playing, which is what it was like in my household, they'll gravitate towards it on their own, I think. Just for anybody listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brent Weinbach. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Natasha. I love you.
Thank you for having me, Moshe.
Brent, you are our girlfriend.
When are we having breakfast?